The further you scale, it gets more chaotic.
Hey guys, welcome back to NEMT Van Talks. I'm Jasmine, and this is my girl Monica.
Hi.
Today, we are sharing with you another wonderful resource for you to incorporate into your business. We are going to introduce you to a new scheduling software by the name of Bambi. So check it out.
Hi, I'm Nirav.
And I'm Charles. We're the co-founders of Bambi.
No, not the depressing Bambi, the fun one. Is it easier with Bambi?
It's easier with Bambi.
Bambi software is so easy to use, even your grandpa can use it.
It's easy.
Start figuring out how to spend all that time and money we're saving you. We are Bambi.
Run, Bambi, run!
They got a celebrity show.
Oh, man.
Well, that intro was hilarious. It was so exciting to see Nara's personality and his sense of humor. Like, I really enjoyed watching that video.
I'm here too.
My co-founder told me I should do stand-up comedy, but I'm sticking with software.
You really should. You know what? I've never seen this side of you before. So let's give our audience a little backstory, right? So initially, I met Nirav at the NAMTech conference last year. We got invited to this like really elaborate rooftop party, and it was wonderful, right? And when I met him, he was super professional, and he was really intrigued about learning about our operations. And so I was compelled to invite him to our session because you guys know we did a women empowerment session at NAMTech last year. And so you came through, Nirav, and you supported us, and I appreciate you for that. And after our session, we spoke and you told us all the exciting things about, Bambi and how it was going to roll out. And I was just so excited. And so, of course, we stayed in contact, and here we are today. So I'm so thrilled to have you on our platform. So welcome.
Thank you. I am equally or more thrilled than you are.
So tell us a little bit about, where did you get the name Bambi from? That's what I want to know.
So it was actually my co-founder Charles's mom. She thought that Bambi could stand for Better Ambulance Intelligence. Me and Charles just thought, it sounds cute and memorable. Let's roll with it. Now we're a team of 10 employees, all US employees. Everyone has ownership in the business, and we're growing.
And we have some exciting guests because I know our viewers are probably wondering exactly who this lovely lady is here and this handsome gentleman down below. So we definitely want to go ahead and introduce our audience to Rosalind and Michael. Thank you guys so much for being on our platform.
Before we introduce Rosalind, Michael, we have to talk a little bit about Rosalind as well now. So we met Rosalind right when she was beginning to launch her business and when she was stepping into the NEMT industry. And so we consulted with her. And so when Narav mentioned like, hey, we have two NEMT business owners that are currently utilizing our software that we want to, introduce them as well. I was like, wait a minute. Rosalind sounds familiar. I know that name. So we are honored and thrilled to have you both here today to share your experience with Bambi. And so again, welcome and thank you both for joining us today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So we'll start with Rosalind. So Rosalind, can you tell our audience exactly, just let us know a little bit more about your NEMT business, like what's the name of your company, where you guys are located, and how long you've been in business.
So I am, my name is Rosalind. I am from Vallejo, California. My business is B811 Medical Transportation Services, and we service Solano County. Our contract is with Solano County. However, we do service the entire Bay Area. We started in March of this year, so we have not been in operations a very long time. As she mentioned, I I consulted with MJ Reliable. I followed you guys on YouTube, and you had a promo to do like consulting. Also met you guys at the first NTAT conference. And I reached out to you guys just to get some. I knew nothing about this industry. And so I followed you guys and was very impressed with your videos and reached out to you guys for some consultation. And I took very, very, very diligent notes. And I think at that time I probably had 3 trips that month, the month of March. And the next month in April, I had 60 trips for the month of April. Wow. And we are here in November, and just last week I had over 75 trips for the 1 week. So the business had like the increase in business is tremendous. So I want to hats off to you two ladies for being my first point of contact in the industry, and your mentorship and being role models in the industry. I look at your videos and I took a lot of notes, and a lot of your information is very, very valuable. So I appreciate you too, as being women in the business, as being Black women in the business, just leaders in the business. Just keep up the good work. And I'm excited. I'm still learning. We started off with 1 vehicle. When I was at the MTAC conference, I had 1 vehicle, and now I have 6 vehicles. I didn't have any contracts. I think we're up to maybe, I think we have 5 contracts, 3 of which are government contracts. So we're doing pretty well. I am contracted with a couple of brokers. I saw your video, how you made 6 figures with 1 broker. I said, I'm going to do that too. And so I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me on this show. Thanks to Rob for inviting me as well. And I'm looking forward to what the future holds for us.
Absolutely. And we definitely are going to talk a whole lot more about your growth and how Bambi has contributed to you, streamlining some of your operations overall, because I know when you're dealing with a large amount of trips, you definitely have to have a scheduling software to help you out, because it can be very overwhelming. And that's one NEMT business owner to another. So we'll definitely speak to that. So Michael, tell us a little bit more about you, your company, where you're located, and how you were introduced to Bambi Software.
I'm Michael Heidelberg. I'm located in Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm the owner of Jack's NEMT. We also started March 1st, and it was actually through you guys as well. This year, I sort of hit a snag. I lost my full-time job, and I didn't know where to go, what to do. My mom talked to me about the NEMT business about 2 years ago, but I still had no research or any idea how to approach it. I started doing my research, and I found MJ Reliable on YouTube. I'm a few months subscriber now. I love you guys' video. I watched you guys' video last week.
Thank you.
Thanks for being industry leaders. So these past few months, I just been grinding, trying to slowly develop my business and become an actual, NEMT business in this space.
All right.
It's awesome.
Well, I have to say, that is definitely a testament, Michael, because there are so many people that are just like you. Look at what Amazon is going through right now. 200 workers have been laid off. So the fact that you have decided to pivot, not just stay still, but keep moving and trying to figure out what's next is important. So I'm excited for you about the future of your NEMT business.
And I really do want to say a big contribute is to you guys. Just watching your videos, your smiling faces, your attitude, knowing that we're actually helping people, it really inspires you to get out there and try for yourself. I grew up, my mom owns a few group homes in Southwest Florida. So I've always helped and loved helping people, and just seeing women, Black women, people be really happy with what they're doing and making money doing it as well. Really does inspire me to do this. So for sure, thank you guys so much.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you for sharing that, Michael. Thank you so much for sharing that. We really appreciate that.
And I should mention, we would not be able to scale our businesses without scheduling software. So, Nira, thank you so much for, thinking of us, right? All of us when implementing or creating Bambi. So thank you so much. So we want to talk about the experiences that you both have had with Bambi software. So I think Monica has some questions for you guys.
I do. So Rosalind and Michael, tell us, what has been your experience with the implementation of Bambi, and how has it helped scale and grow your business currently?
So when I first got into the industry, like I said, we started off with only 3 trips for the first month. So I thought I would be okay with the iPhone calendar and notifications when it was time to pick up a ride. And as the business scaled, it started to scale like mid April, and we added on a second vehicle. I added on a couple of more drivers, and I found that the paper calendar that we had and the Excel spreadsheet that I had and the Apple iPhone calendar that we were using just wasn't working. We were dropping appointments, missing appointments. Yeah, I mentioned earlier, this was the first software that I saw some of the other software like Route Genie, and it was another one that I had. Like, it was just a lot. It was real busy. And someone being new into the industry, trying to navigate all these different moving pieces. I just wanted something simple, straightforward. Let me schedule these trips, get it out to my drivers, and just kind of keep going. I didn't have time to sit there and try to figure out and learn a whole new software. So when I got Bambi, it was straightforward. The scheduling piece was straightforward. The driver app was straightforward. And then the other thing was I was able to talk with some of the developers over on the Bambi side. So if I had a suggestion, or if I had, like, I remember calling Narav, it was like a Sunday evening, like 8 o'clock. No, I sent like an email, and he called me like 30 minutes later, like, this is Sunday night. And he called me and helped me, like, immediately. I was thinking maybe he would call me like Monday morning, but he called me that night. And so just that personal touch that they also added helped out a lot also. And then the reporting side of it. I have to generate reports too. Like I said, I have several contracts with some of these government agencies. They require monthly reports. And it was hard for me to kind of get all this information, all this data from all these different sources and put together these reports. But there's a feature within the software that allows me to do all these different reporting. And they're constantly adding different filters to the software that can help as far as gathering data and sorting out the different data. But again, it's simple, straightforward. My drivers love it. When I have to, when we get like on-demand calls and I add it to the schedule, my drivers are notified. So yeah, I like I said, it was my first and last dispatch software. So yeah.
First and last. Okay.
First and last. I'm
That's
good.
saying a whole lot. Well,
Yeah,
it sounds to me like they're actually listening to the input that you guys are providing. Like, if they're constantly updating their systems, that means that they're listening to that feedback that you guys are giving. So, I mean,
and it can be a little like there was one thing that I wanted in the report. So I needed to, me personally, I needed to find out my monthly revenue, right? And so there was a field that calculates the revenue, and it was like a decimal off. And so I talked to Charles. I'm like, so how do you add it so instead of it saying, like, as an example, 7,500, it just needs to say $75 or something like that. And so he says, he showed me how to do it in Excel. But then one day I was running a report and I was doing the little formula that he had showed me and it wasn't working. And I'm like, why is it not working? He fixed it. He fixed it in the software. So it was like a little fix that he told me just to do it to the time being. And then next thing I knew, the fix had already been made behind the scenes. So it could be something as small as moving a decimal point over, or something as huge as being able to book like subscribe writers or recurring writers. So they definitely listen to feedback and they make those corrections like fairly quickly.
And you, Michael, what's your experience with Bambi?
Yeah, so first off, I tried a bunch of different NEMT softwares, from Route Genie, Toby Cloud, Trip Master, quite a few of them. And just so you guys know, I have a web development marketing background, so I'm used to anything technical. I think, like Rosalind said, with Route Genie, just starting out, it looks like some military grade software. Is very unapproachable when you first look at it. You need months of training just to look at it. I think even in their onboarding video, they kept saying, "We have training for you." But as soon as I went to Bambi, even on the site, you can see how clean the interface is, how simple it looks. But once you play with it, how powerful it is in the background. It completely changed my business. I started off with just one broker, so it was very easy to manage. I could go into the broker's website, get the trip, run the route, and be done. A few of those a day I can manage. As soon as I started to add another broker, then add another broker, then I think I'm up to like 4 or 5 brokers now, including private pay. I just can't manage it. Trips from my website, I didn't know where to put it. So for sure I needed a dispatch software. Adding trips into Hey Bambi has been thus far the easiest. I can do it in less than 2 minutes. I think, like Rosalind said, if anything comes up same day or like just out of the blue, I can easily add it. My driver sees it, and then we're done. Like it's so simple to use, but it's so powerful. The onboarding process. I've been talking to my specialist, Max. We text each other. If I have a problem, I text him. If he can't fix it, he'll text me later. He'll call me multiple times that day. Just to make sure I'm comfortable and I know what I'm doing. So far, it's been really awesome using Bambi, and I'm proud to have found it. I really have given up on routing software. In fact, I was going to have somebody make me one, but right now I'm like Rosalind, last ones for me.
And I like to point out some of the key things that you guys spoke about that we talk about all the time. So like Rosalind, when you said when you first started out, you were using your Google Calendar. And we do tell people when you first start out, you may be able to manage in that way, right? But as your trip volume increases, you're going to need a scheduling software. But then it all goes to, you started with the Google Calendar, and then when it came time for a scheduling software, you were rushing, right? Because you didn't have time to waste. So we tell people you can start with Google Calendar, but it's recommended that you start with the scheduling software so that when things do pick up, you don't have to rush and learn a platform. You can already have it integrated and you already know what you're doing, right? So, but of course, it all depends too on cash flow and things like that. So we definitely understand that. But as NEMT business owners, like if you have the capacity to get a scheduling software straight out the bat, definitely go ahead and do it, even if you're only doing a couple trips a week, because it gets you and your staff prepared for when that big rush starts to come in. So I'm glad that you mentioned that for sure. And then kind of piggybacking on what Michael said, right? Michael, you have been through what, 5 or 6 or 7 scheduling software, right?
Too many, Jasmine, too many.
Right. And you've been trying to find the perfect one for you. So that's why when we get questions on our platform about what scheduling software we use, we don't say.
Yeah.
Because we want people to make a decision for themselves, because what our company needs are may not be what your company needs are. And what we may like, you may not like.
Yep.
So like you mentioned, the interface and things like that, it was easy for you to visually look at, right? So, definitely there's tons of scheduling softwares out there, but you have selected Bambi because it fit your needs, right? And it provided everything that you were looking for in a scheduling software. So, I mean, you're a testament to some of the things that we talk about on our platform. So I think
Do you mind if I add some more, Jasmine?
Absolutely.
I wanted to add some more things. Just starting out, if you're a contractor or an NEMT driver and you're just trying to approach this business, you need a scheduling software that you're not afraid to use, that when you're looking, you're thinking about scale. You're not thinking about just you using, you're thinking about a dispatcher using. I picked this software because I know a dispatcher can jump on this software and within a day or two start scheduling trips while I focus on big picture, while I focus on driving. I was looking for something that handles everything. And I think this software, it's very powerful. And I hope more NEMT drivers and business owners really start to look at it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, Michael, I think you kind of answered our second question already, which was going to be how user-friendly is this software and how friendly is it to onboard new staff? And you kind of just mentioned that as well. But we have a second part to that question. I don't know if Rosalind want to kind of piggy and add some more to that, about the software being user-friendly, but also, like, what type of feedback have you received from your staff as well? Like, what are their experience utilizing the software, and do they find it user-friendly as well?
So B811 is a family-owned business, family-owned and operated business. And so my first driver was my son, or is my son. And I remember when we first were using, like I said, the Google calendars, and I was dropping the ball in scheduling, and we already knew, because a lot of our clients were recurring clients, but we already kind of knew in the back of our mind who we had to pick up. But if it wasn't on the calendar, he would like, hey, what happened to this client? And so when we onboarded, I believe Nirav trained both Jared and myself on the app at the same time when we first got the application. So we both learned on it. We both learned about Bambi at the same time. And if I don't put somebody on the schedule, or if I don't add like one of our recurring clients, like, he's checking his schedule constantly all the time. He's on his phone checking the schedule. We also use it to keep track of the maintenance on the vehicles. Because I know in the past we used like a paper log when we first start driving, there's a paper log that we go through to checklist the vehicle inspection in the morning or when we start our shift, and then in the closing, when we close out our shift, we do the paper log. And so the Bambi app, the driver app, helps as far as keeping track of those logs. And then there's some brokers that require signatures for picking up and dropping off clients. But a lot of times those apps have hiccups and don't work. And so Bambi also has a feature where you can sign, or the client or passenger can sign on the driver app. So if for whatever reason the broker app isn't working, we can fall back on Bambi and still have the passenger or the client sign on the app. There's a GPS tracker associated with it. So if we need to provide that information to the broker, it's already there. But it was very easy and straightforward, like I said, using the app the interface, as Michael mentioned, the interface is very user friendly. A lot of times, the app can be simple to use, but if the interface is busy, like when you first look at it and it's dark and it's, has a lot going on, that's a deterrent. You know what I mean? And it kind of, especially like you said, if you need something fast and you go look at all, no, I'm not about to use that. That's too much going on right now. Bambi was very user friendly, very welcoming as far as the interface is concerned. And so it was easy for us to move into it. Like I said, I looked at, even when I was at the NEMT convention, some of the dispatch software companies were offering a lot of promotions to get onto their platform. Even with me looking at it, it was just busy, just real busy for me. And so the interface was very straightforward, and it was easy for my drivers. Now that we have more drivers, and as far as adding additional drivers, it's simple as like adding a contact in your phone. You know what I mean? It's not a whole lot to it. Adding a driver. I remember when I got some more vans, and I called Nirav and I said, I need to add more vans. And he said, just like I said, it's like adding another. What I'm thinking is a lot to it, but it was as simple as it's adding the vehicle information to the app, and it's added, and you just add it into your daily dispatch. And the adding the individual, I think the hardest part as far as adding the drivers was getting our drivers to read their email to add themselves. That was the hardest part, and because our drivers, they're not really, they're drivers, so they're not in front of their computer, or they're not. So you got to tell them, hey, check your email so they can add themselves. That was the hardest part. Once they did that and they added themselves, everything was pretty straightforward. But outside of that, it was very, like I said, simple, straightforward. The interface was easy on the eye. And, when you are, you have all these different moving parts, that's key. Like literally one less thing to worry about is crucial. If you have to worry about, I'm trying to look and see what this says and what this means and how do I add this or how do I move that? That's a lot, especially if you're an owner operator provider, if you are managing multiple parts of the business, one less thing off your plate is crucial. And so if you can find a software that's simple to use, that's straightforward to use, user friendly, and it has all these different features in it at the same time, that's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
One of the things that I want to talk about that I found to be very, very unique about Bambi software is Run Bambi Run, right? Is that a feature that you guys are utilizing within your business?
Mm-hmm. I use it. Like I said, it's one less thing that you have to worry about, right? So you can hit Run Bambi Run. So you can put like I have 2 ambulatory vans on the platform. I have 2 ambulatory vans listed and a wheelchair van listed, right? And so when you schedule a trip, you tell the software this is an ambulatory or a wheelchair client. And so when you hit Run Bambi Run, it automatically connects not only the time and the location, but it also connects whether or not that passenger is a good fit for this particular vehicle. And because I know some of the passengers that we deal with, they can ride, if it's a ambulatory client, they can ride in a wheelchair, or vice versa, but it'll notify you, hey, you're scheduling this for ambulatory. Are you, okay with that? But when you hit Run Bambi Run, it automatically knows that this passenger is a good fit for this vehicle, for this time slot, for this, location. But again, that's one less thing that my brain has to worry about is this vehicle good for this person, for this time slot? And Run Bambi Run just kind of does all that for you.
Run Bambi Run. It's automation. It's almost like having an extra hand, an extra brain. You need that when it comes to this business. It pretty much handles everything. Like Rosalind was saying earlier, after you set all of your settings, Run Bambi Run pretty much just routes all your trips for you. That's how you can get it done within 2 minutes. It was one of the main reasons why I chose to use Bambi.
So it's similar. Well, is it similar to like routing optimization where it kind of routes the trips for you?
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And I have to say, like, me and Monica are very transparent when it comes to that. When we first started our business, we didn't have a routing software. And so we spent a whole bunch of hours after completing trips, routing the trips for the next days ahead. And it was a lot. We would be up to like 11, 12 o'clock sometimes just routing trips. So the fact that, you know, Bambi has that routing optimization, Run Bambi Run, integrated within their solution, scheduling solution is definitely very impressive. So I have to say that Bambi, you guys were listening to the NEMT providers. So we definitely appreciate that. And Rosalind, I know, you know, we've heard from you and your experiences with Bambi and how much you love it. So now we want to open it up and just provide a highlight to our viewers of Bambi. So you guys stay tuned. We're going to show you a brief highlight of Bambi. All right.
So I can manually assign trips, like I'll assign this trip for Herbert Hippopotamus to Charles, but that takes too long. I'm going to select all and hit Run Bambi Run. And now Bambi's algorithms are generating the optimal schedule for the day. So this is the suggestion that Bambi has put out for all these trips. The blue trips are new assignments. This purple one here is a reassignment, meaning it got shuffled from one driver to another because that's what's optimal. And 3 trips didn't get assigned. I'm hitting apply. Now the optimal schedule is set for the day. The team section is where I can do things like manage the shifts for all the drivers. For example, my shift is set for 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. I can edit it here. I can see all of the team members, all of the drivers, easily edit anything like the driver's details and their skills. This is where the fleet is managed, all the vehicles. And this is the trip section. So these are all the trips that have ever been done and will be done. And I can filter and even search for a particular passenger and filter by that. And the add a trip form is super simple. Everything's on one page. I can make it a round trip easily. And that's the Bambi app in a nutshell.
All right. So guys, we hope you enjoyed that highlight of Bambi. And if you are interested in learning more about Bambi, click the link below so you can schedule your live 101 demo with the head of Bambi's customer team. All right.
Right. And I also would like to thank Rosalind and Michael for being on our platform and sharing with our viewers about your experiences with Bambi. I mean, overall, you guys really provided a testimonial and you are proof that, hey, you know, NEMT is where it's at, and you know, scheduling software is important to integrate into your business. So thank you too for joining us today. And I have to say, Nira, thank you so much for thinking of small business owners like us in creating a scheduling software that we could implement within our business to help our businesses grow. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we don't want to remain small businesses forever. And when we do reach, you know, higher levels, we know that Bambi will also grow with small businesses. So thank you so much.
For sure. And I got to say, the favorite part of my job is listening to our customers and hearing about how much easier and better we're making their lives.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching NEMT Van Talks. We'll see ya.
Bye.
Thanks for having us.